All right. This week we're mainly working on schedules, and we'll finish up a few details that were kind of floating around that we haven't covered yet. One, I realized we didn't add a reflected ceiling plan for our basement, and we need one since we got different types of ceiling stuff going on. So if you just go to your ceiling plans, top of slab for the ceiling plan, it should show your acoustical ceiling tile here. So let's kind of clean, and you want to kind of check it. When I looked at mine, I had little notches here in the ceiling boundary, so I had to edit my boundary for that. But let's clean this up a little bit because we don't need, in this particular drawing, we don't need grids. We don't need elevation markers. Okay. Let's see. We don't need to show these, so we can hide those category. And let's say our downspouts, we don't need those. Um, and what have we got here? Corner, the corner boards, casework. Yeah, we can hide those. Actually, what is baseball exterior sheathing? Yeah, we really don't need that, but that might be a little more difficult to deal with. So that got it pretty well cleaned up. I hid the stairs. The outline of the stairs was showing also. And my water tank, water it wasn't the water heater, it was like the water pressure tank. It was showing up. So I had to turn that off also. So you can see some of the things that I hid there. Okay, and so that'll be really that is the reflected ceiling plan. There's no real dimensions to it unless you're going to dimension the starting point of the way the ceiling goes. But usually, if you show it as being centered roughly, the installers will do the calculations based on how the wall is actually built, and they'll get it centered up. Okay, uh, so that's good. We're going to add a sheet for that also. All right, but now I want to get down to schedules. If we scroll down over here in the browser to schedules, you may not have anything there. You may not. Um, so let's look at the floor plan. I'm going to close that one down. So, oh, that's my sheet. I want the actual floor plan. That's all I have open. Okay. Okay. So, did you tag your windows and your doors previously? If you may not have. Okay. Well, now you need to if you haven't. So with doors, you're going to come up here. You're going to go tag by category, and then you're going to go through and you want to click on all of your doors. Boom, and it's going to drop a tag. Okay. And then you'll do the same thing again. You'll go tag by category, and you'll hit your windows. And you want to make sure you get all of them tagged on the first floor and down here in your basement. Okay, because we do have a door here, and then we've got the windows around the perimeter. Now, these I think these pretty well number them in sequence. If not, you can edit those. Each door should have an individual unique number. Okay, windows are all going to be tagged by type of window, not individually numbered, but all D windows are the same type, same size. All E windows, same type, same size. And so what I did with these is I went through and like I started with this one being the smallest of the double hungs. And if you look at it over here in your properties, well, the mark that was the third one that got placed in there. This was the fourth one that got placed. Okay, so it's not the mark that we're changing, it's the type mark. So what you do is after you've dropped in your tag, click on the tag on the text and edit it and use A, B, C, D, E like that. Okay, so that all of The smaller double hungs are an A. The 5-foot tall double hungs are a B. The ones here at the front are a C. Okay, and it'll get all of your windows tagged. Same way with your doors. If you need to reorder the numbering, then just come in and click on the tag and renumber it that way. All right. Now, if over here in the browser, if the schedules are not showing up, you just right click on schedule there and you go new schedule. Okay. And you just scroll down and you pick what you want. It may be easier if you go filter list here to just architecture. Okay. And then it'll bring them all up. Well, they're not showing now because I've already, got them in here. Well, let's look at the door schedule. It's not going to look like this when you first pull it up. Okay, so and when you first add one in, you get the pop-up to edit how you want stuff to do. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through fields right here, and you're going to pick out what you need. Now, in our project here, these excuse me, these are the ones that are showing up of what I want. Okay. If you're working at a company, they're going to have a template set up that's going to include all that information. But you can add these things here. Now, what shows up and what doesn't show is based on your library. What kind of information is included in the family, okay? And depending upon the type of job it is, you may end up using a lot more of these columns, okay? All right, so we're going to, for this project, mark type, family and type gives the description, rough opening width, rough opening height, okay? That gets those things. And then if you need to, we don't need to filter on the doors, but we can group them if we want. They normally should sort by mark. If not, then go sort by mark ascending, and it'll put them in order here. Okay. So there's door schedule. Let's look at window schedule. Same kind of thing here. The fields that I brought in, this worked out the best based on the windows that we used in this project. Okay, and these here, the sliders with trim, those are going in the concrete opening. Not knowing how they're built, I can't tell you what the rough openings would be. So we're leaving those blank because we don't know. Okay. If we knew more about that particular window manufacturer and how their installation instructions are, then we could put in a rough opening, rough open width. Okay, and so we want to filter that so it sorts A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so now let's look at room schedule. Okay, now room schedule, I did the same thing. I picked out the fields that I wanted, okay? And then I sorted them based on the room number, okay? And it picks up area, automatically, the name based on your room tags. Floor finish, I went in and added these myself. And the first time you add one, you type it in as to what it is. And then it goes into a pull down. Okay, so then as you go down, you don't have to type them over and over again. You just go to the pull down and pull what you need. Okay, so you're going to fill in, the room schedule here. Now this is not paint colors, all that kind of stuff or information, but it gives idea mainly what type of flooring, what type of wall, what type of ceiling. Okay, plumbing fixture schedule. This one is kind of an automatic. It fills it up. Okay, based on plumbing fixtures and things that have a tag based on plumbing. All right, and so we're pulling that in. Now casework. Let's go back to my floor plan. So let me close all these down here. Okay, on my floor plan, I did a detail call out here of my kitchen area. Okay, and then renamed it kitchen details. And I came in here and I did a a tag for the cabinets, and it's a casework tag. Okay, I'm going to hit the countertop. We're not tagging a countertop, but I'm going to hit it just to show you how this works. Okay, and you see right here, well, that didn't work as the way I had it planned. I'm trying to get this over here so you can kind of, okay. So it comes in with just a question mark on it. And what I did is I put in the size of my cabinet, the type of cabinet that I had. And so I just clicked on the little question mark and I would type in, B24, D for drawers, B for base, the width of the cabinet, and D for drawer. Okay, yes, I'm changing the parameter, yes. Okay, and so that tags your cabinets. Now, if you notice right here, it has leader line. Okay, so I turn that off. Okay, and also I did the edit in my property for the casework tag, and I unchecked box visibility because normally it would have a rectangle around it. Well, our text is bigger than the rectangle, so I unchecked that on the casework tag, and I unchecked the leader line so that all I have is the text, and then I can move that and place it in my cabinet. Okay, and so I did the cabinets. I did some basic dimensionings from the center line of the window. Okay, and then added these dimensions here: face of wall, face of countertop, face of wall. Okay, and so that gives me some kitchen detail information, which is, fairly common. It may not be on a regular floor plan because it just gets so crowded, but we're just doing a little bit larger. Made this on a 1/2 inch scale. Okay, just to give us information about our cabinets that we're going to have. All right, so now let's go back to the casework schedule. All right, so I pulled in these fields, the type, mark, count, depth, height, width, family, like that. All right, so let's look at fields. All right, and so those are the ones that I pulled in. I did a sort based on the type mark, and I said itemize every instance. That means every instance of it is recorded. And we have some duplicates. Okay, our base 30s are duplicates. Upper wall cabinets, we got some duplicates in our vanity cabinets. So we can uncheck that. Okay, and I'll show you how that changes. Okay, so it consolidates everything and changes the count here, which is fine, unless we need to indicate what room it is in. Okay, in our schedule. In that case, unless they're all in the same room, we wouldn't want to do that. However, now then, you are seeing a lot more stuff in here because you don't have a filter applied. Like all the countertops are in there, some of the closet shelving. When I started doing corner boards, I actually tagged them as a casework. Not really sure why I did that, but I did. And so they're showing up. So we're going to do a filter and hit the pull down. I would choose a type mark. So I'll show you here. If I go none, oh, well, it's consolidating all of that right there into 15 more items that don't have a family and a type. Okay. Let me itemize all instances and I'll show you. Okay, so you can see things here with no type mark are what's showing up. We got countertops, vanity tops, corner boards, shelves, corner board, things like that. So I want to filter that based on my type mark, and I'm going to say is greater than my first type mark that I've included, the base 21D. And I'm going to go ahead and uncheck that one. Okay, and so that just pulls in just my cabinets. That's what I want is for this, okay? I don't know, can we rename that? I'm just going to call it cabinet schedule. That way it doesn't get confused with other stuff too. Okay. And so that picked up all of our schedules. We've talked about those. Okay, so now let's go look at my schedule sheet. Okay, and so I created one sheet just for schedules and pulled them in, try to line them up, centered up a little bit. I probably could move these over a little bit, but see, they're different widths, so that's kind of normal. Okay, and just kind of want to, eyeball those things and make they're looking kind of good there. Now, details. I'm going to pause this video and then come back and talk about the details here.